Hello folks, back to work on the Silver Meteor Seaboard number 970, which is an action car. As you may recall, we did a little bit of work last time to free up the activator, the solenoid here, and make this tray here begin to vibrate so our little guy could ride the rail, I guess. Again, poor Mr. Impaled guy here. Would go back and forth, very similar to how the stockyard operates, but it operates on this kind of cloth-like material. And because of the direction of this stuff, this very moth-eaten looking product here, he would kind of ride back and forth going this way and that. So, looking for a way to replace this that's a bit more cost-effective. A lot of folks that I've seen, some sellers that probably most folks know, I won't list any names because I don't impugn anybody, like to charge something along the lines of $8 to $10 for this material, and I don't know that it's worth it. So I opened up Mr. Barker's book here, and many of you probably heard my unsolicited advertisements for Mr. Barker, but on page 148, Mr. Barker has a suggestion for how to put this stuff called Shoreline edge refills into here. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how that works. All right, so in his book, Mr. Barker says you are to take a chunk of the Shoreline edging material here. Now, I didn't quite do this right. Really what you're supposed to do is, what he wants you to do is take a kind of diagonal cut of this. I took more of a straight on cut, and as I realized what I was doing, I kind of diagonaled it out here so you can kind of see this isn't quite a right angle here. So I went for more of a diagonal cut as it moved along, and the reason why is, if you go back to the book, but I'll just kind of walk you through it, you want this material to be on a bit of a bias so that as it travels up and down here, it has a natural inclination to go to kind of veer off to a side, and therefore will naturally turn and kind of go back this way, and then we'll turn back around. So otherwise you may end up with it kind of running into an end here and stopping. So what I did was I took this as the outline, and I cut almost a perfect outline of this. Almost perfect, it's not quite. You can see I dug in a little bit there, but enough so that our Mr. Linewalker, or Mr. Impaled here, we'll start calling him Vlad for short. So Vlad here could go back on the top of our little action car and could turn around. So just for example, here's what it looks like right now. And so it moves very nicely all the way across. So one last little bit of adjustment that I don't have a video of, but I did do, because unfortunately I'm still without a tripod, so I can videotape me working on these things. But this adjustment handle allows you to, depending on how you turn it, either tighten or loosen the solenoid here so that it vibrates more or less. What I found was the bias, the up and down bias of this slot only allowed me a very little amount of adjustment. And so it either had to be pointed up, like it is here, or pointed down to fit as it went back down. I went with up because that was the best way, and the top, and this went over, I'm sorry, the case, or the body of the car, went down cleanly over the top. So went back, the bottoms here of the metal frame do twist in a similar manner, so I didn't want to over tighten those too much, but it just kind of about a 1/16 of a turn on them just to keep it sealed. Make sure your little rubber stoppers go back into the holes here on your fiber mat, and we'll give her just a bump up here. Oops, sorry. Give it a bump up here so it's on. Really nice. nicely. So sound is similar to if you have the Brakeman on the what's the term I'm looking for, on your caboose. Very similar. It's kind of the standard solenoid. So you can either overdo it and it gets really loud, or you can underdo it and it doesn't shake enough and the guy doesn't move. So I'm going to put the whole thing together for you real quick and then show you a video of him, of Vlad here, going up and down the length of the car. So Vlad is back in his rightful place, and we'll go ahead and apply some power and we'll see him do some dancing. So there he goes, and you can see there's a little kind of a sticky part here I've noticed. I'm going to take a look at what's going on there. Looks like this the body does ride a little bit low, and so there may be some friction here I need to adjust for. But overall, it runs really nice. I have done the usual CRC 226 treatment to the body here, so it looks, the luster of the Tuscan frame here looks really nice, and everything I think seems to line up pretty well. Might do a little paint touch up on old Vlad here just to make sure he's a little better looking, but for the most part this is a really nice looking car, save one repair error, the crack I think it's right here, that again just not that noticeable, at least for me, and I'm okay with it. Good lesson learned, and this Silver Meteor is going to go on my layout, and I will be proud to put it on a consist here shortly. Put our little tabs here. Oops, I'm going to put those back out. If you recall, I'll put these back on. I will give these kind of a rust treatment. You can tell they're a little on the rusty side. So I'm going to give these a rust treatment and coat them in CRC 226 as well. And that should do it for this repair job. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been a nice little adventure. I think I'm going to pull out a couple more of Mr. Barker's suggestions here. I might do a couple of things out of his book here shortly, just to check it out and see how well they work, or maybe there's some adjustments. So for now, that's it, everybody. Thanks very much for watching.